Peace, this is Mr. Moore from Trialpreneur Sports Podcast, back another video. So the SEC annual opponents list has been released for all 16 teams moving forward. Of course, the SEC is moving to a 9-game conference schedule. I'm going to start with my Alabama Crimson Tide, and I'm disappointed that LSU will not be an annual opponent moving forward. I know I've heard a lot of people talk about Mississippi State being this rival. I'm 40, and I remember a lot of football. I don't remember Mississippi State being a rival to that extent to where the games were competitive year in and year out, and they were actually winning and dominating Alabama at some point. I remember in like the early mid-90s when, of course, Jackie Sherrill was the head coach. Eric Modes, he was a star wide receiver of Mississippi. I think they won a couple of games back then. But outside of that, I just don't think that's been a big rival, especially the last 20 years. I mean, Alabama's pretty much dominated that rival, that matchup. And then, of course, LSU has become not only a rivalry, but one of the biggest marquee games in college football almost the past 20 years, especially since Nick Saban took over the head coach at Alabama with being at LSU previously. So I'm disappointed about that. But, of course, Auburn got to keep the Iron Bowl, got to keep the Tennessee third Saturday, October. I will be at that game this year. I'm looking forward to that one. Moving to the rest of the teams, Arkansas, you have Missouri, you got Texas, that's the old Southwest Conference game. LSU, which is, I'm okay with that. Auburn, of course, Alabama, Georgia. I don't understand Vanderbilt. You probably could have put maybe LSU or Mississippi State or Ole Miss, another SEC former SEC West Division team for Auburn. Florida, you got Georgia, South Carolina, Kentucky. So those are your former SEC East games. Georgia, Auburn, Florida, South Carolina. I'm okay with that. I would love to see Tennessee with Georgia as well. Kentucky, you got Florida, Tennessee, South Carolina. I'm okay with that. LSU, of course, Arkansas, Ole Miss, Texas A&M. I'm okay with that. Of course, I talked about my LSU, Alabama earlier. Mississippi State, Ole Miss, of course, got to keep the Egg Bowl. Vanderbilt, Alabama. Missouri, Arkansas, Texas A&M, Oklahoma. Those are old Southwest Conference games, and was it Big 8 and Big 12. Also Oklahoma, you got Missouri, Ole Miss, Texas. Of course, those no problem with that. Ole Miss, Mississippi State, LSU, and Oklahoma. I would like to have seen maybe, like I said, Auburn with Ole Miss. South Carolina, you got Georgia, Florida, Kentucky, Tennessee, of course, Alabama, Kentucky, Vanderbilt. I like that. Like I said, I would have probably switched out Kentucky with Georgia, but we'll see what happens in the near future. Of course, Texas A&M, Arkansas, Oklahoma, no problem with that. Texas. Texas A&M, you got LSU, Missouri, Texas, Vanderbilt, Auburn, Tennessee, and Mississippi State. So that rounds out the SEC annual opponents for all 16 teams moving forward. Of course, they'll rotate the other 6 games. I think every 2 years. That's how it should be, at least every 2 years. But like I said, outside of the Alabama one, I don't really have too many complaints about it. I will be looking forward to these matchups in the near future. But those are just my thoughts on that. Leave your thoughts in the comment section.